The banana is a simple fruit. It is yellow, it is sweet, and it is loved by people everywhere. More than just a quick snack, the banana has a long and fascinating story. It is a story that travels across oceans and continents, connecting small farms in warm climates to breakfast tables in cold cities. This humble fruit is one of the most important foods in the world. It provides nourishment and income for millions of people. Its journey is a complex dance of nature, hard work, and global logistics. The banana we peel so easily has traveled a long way to reach our hands, a journey that begins in the rich, warm soil of tropical lands under the watchful eye of dedicated farmers. Bananas are a global phenomenon. They are eaten in almost every country on earth. Each year, people consume over 100 billion bananas, making them one of the most popular fruits available. This incredible demand is met by a massive global industry. The top banana-producing countries are India and China, which grow vast quantities mostly for their own people. However, when you see a banana in a supermarket in Europe or North America, it likely started its journey in Latin America. Countries like Ecuador, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Guatemala are the world's biggest exporters. They specialize in growing the familiar Cavendish banana, the variety most commonly sold internationally, and shipping it thousands of miles away. The popularity of the banana is not a surprise. It comes in its own natural, easy-to-open packaging. It is packed with nutrients like potassium, which is important for heart health and muscle function. It is soft and easy for babies and the elderly to eat. It is also incredibly versatile. You can eat it fresh, blend it into a smoothie, bake it into bread, or even fry it as a savory side dish. This adaptability makes it a staple food in many cultures and a convenient health food in others. The banana's consistent quality and year-round availability have cemented its place as a go-to fruit for people of all ages, all around the globe. This global love for bananas has a deep history. The fruit is not a product of modern agriculture alone. It has been cultivated for thousands of years. Originating in Southeast Asia, the banana traveled with explorers and traders across the Indian Ocean to Africa, and then later, it was brought to the Americas by European colonists. For a long time, it was an exotic and rare treat in colder climates. It wasn't until the late 19th century, with the invention of refrigerated steamships, that the banana could be transported in large quantities without spoiling. This innovation sparked a banana bonanza, turning the fruit from a luxury into an everyday item for millions of people. The life of a banana begins not from a seed, but from a piece of an existing banana plant. Farmers plant a rhizome, which is an underground stem, or a smaller shoot called a sucker. This piece is carefully placed in well-drained soil in a warm, humid climate where it can thrive. Banana plants are not actually trees. They are giant, herbaceous flowering plants. Their trunk is a pseudostem made of tightly rolled layers of leaves. This structure grows incredibly fast, reaching its full height of up to 25 feet in less than a year. The farmer must choose the right location, ensuring the plant gets plenty of sunlight and water, creating the perfect nursery for the fruit to come. Caring for a growing banana plant is a full-time job. Farmers must constantly tend to their crops to ensure a healthy harvest. They provide the plants with a steady supply of water and nutrients, which is crucial for the development of large, high-quality fruit bunches. They also have to protect the plants from a variety of threats. Strong winds can easily topple the tall, shallow-rooted plants, so farmers often tie them to supports. Pests and diseases are an even greater danger. The Cavendish banana, which dominates the global market, is particularly vulnerable to certain fungal diseases that can wipe out entire plantations if not carefully managed by the vigilant farmers. After about 9 months of careful nurturing, the banana plant produces a single spectacular flower. This large, purplish, teardrop-shaped flower hangs down from the top of the plant. As the flower's outer layers, called bracts, lift, they reveal rows of smaller actual flowers. These tiny flowers will eventually develop into individual bananas, known as fingers. The fingers grow in clusters called hands. A full stalk, which contains many hands, is called a bunch. A single bunch can hold anywhere from 50 to 150 bananas and can weigh over 100 pounds. The bananas grow upwards, towards the sunlight, giving them their characteristic curve. As the bananas grow larger, farmers take extra precautions to protect them. They cover the developing bunches with large plastic bags. These bags serve multiple purposes. They protect the delicate fruit from being scarred by wind, rain, or rubbing leaves. They also shield the bananas from insects and birds that might try to eat them. This protective covering helps maintain the smooth, unblemished peel that consumers expect in the supermarket. The farmers carefully monitor the bananas, waiting for them to reach the perfect size for harvesting. This is a critical stage, as the bananas must be picked while they are still green and hard. Harvesting bananas is a physically demanding and precise operation. It requires teamwork and skill. The bananas are not allowed to ripen on the plant. They are always cut when they are mature, but still very green. If they ripened on the plant, they would become too soft and starchy to survive the long journey to foreign markets. A worker, known as a cutter, uses a long pole with a very sharp blade at the end to slice through the thick stalk that connects the bunch to the plant. This is a delicate task. The cutter must sever the stalk without letting the heavy bunch crash to the ground, which would bruise and ruin the entire fruit cluster. To prevent the bunch from falling, a second worker, called a backer or carrier, stands ready. As the cutter slices the stalk, the backer positions themselves underneath to catch the heavy bunch on their shoulder. This requires great strength and coordination. A single bunch of bananas can weigh as much as an adult person, and the backer must carry this heavy load, often through difficult terrain on the plantation, to a nearby collection point. This careful handling at the very first stage of the harvest is essential. Any bruising or damage to the green bananas will show up as dark, ugly spots when they eventually ripen, making them unsellable. Once the bunch is safely delivered to a collection station, the banana plant's life cycle for that stalk is over. A banana plant only produces one bunch of bananas in its lifetime. After the fruit is harvested, the main pseudostem is cut down. This might seem destructive, but it is a necessary part of the banana's continuous life cycle. Cutting down the old plant allows a new sucker to grow up in its place from the same rhizome. This new shoot will become the next main stem, and in another 9 to 12 months, it will produce its own bunch of bananas, continuing the cycle of growth and harvest on the plantation. At the collection point, the large bunches are prepared for the next step. The hands of bananas are cut from the main stalk into smaller, more manageable clusters of about 4 to 16 fingers. These are the clusters you might see in a grocery store. This initial processing is done right on the farm. It makes the bananas easier to handle and transport to the packing facility. The workers must be careful during this stage as well, as the sap that oozes from the cuts can stain the banana peels. The separated clusters are then loaded onto trucks or even transported via overhead cable systems that run through the plantation, beginning their journey from the field to the packing house. When the banana clusters arrive at the packing house, the real cleaning process begins. The clusters are first submerged in large tanks of water. This serves two important purposes. First, it washes off any dirt, dust, or insects from the field. Second, and more importantly, the water helps to stop the flow of sap or latex that bleeds from the cut stems. If the sticky sap were allowed to dry on the bananas, it would leave unsightly black stains on the peel. Workers gently move the bananas through the water, ensuring each one is clean. Sometimes the water is treated to help prevent fungus from growing on the crowns of the clusters during their long journey. After their bath, the bananas are moved to sorting and grading tables. Here, trained workers inspect each cluster with a careful eye. They are looking for bananas of the right size, length, and shape, according to the specific standards required by the importing country. Any bananas that are too small, too large, misshapen, or have any blemishes, bruises, or scars are removed. These rejected bananas are not always wasted. They are often sold in local markets or used to make other products like banana puree or chips. Only the best quality bananas, those with perfect appearance, are selected for export to international supermarkets. The chosen bananas are then ready for packing. Workers place a label on each cluster, often a familiar brand sticker you would recognize. The clusters are then carefully arranged in cardboard boxes. Each box is lined with plastic to help control the ripening process and protect the fruit. A standard box holds about 40 pounds of bananas. The boxes are packed tightly but carefully to prevent the fruit from moving and bruising during transit. These boxes are then loaded onto pallets, and the pallets are moved into large refrigerated containers where the temperature is kept at a cool 13 to 14 degrees Celsius or about 57 degrees Fahrenheit to keep the bananas in a state of suspended animation. These refrigerated containers, often called reefers, are loaded onto cargo ships for their long ocean voyage, which can last for weeks. The cool temperature and controlled atmosphere inside the container prevent the bananas from ripening. Upon arrival in the destination country, the boxes are taken to special ripening rooms. Here, the temperature is raised, and ethylene gas, a natural plant hormone that triggers ripening, is introduced into the air. Over a few days, the hard green bananas transform, turning that familiar bright yellow and developing their sweet flavor and soft texture. Only then are they delivered to grocery stores, ready for you to pick up and enjoy, completing their incredible journey from a tropical farm to your kitchen table.